There are some Digimon evolutions that Bandai and Toei, in their inestimable wisdom, have decided not to make real, but I have seen many Digimon fans clamoring for across the internet and specifically in my comment section. So on today's video, to celebrate the holiday season, I'm giving back, I'm giving you a gift, and I'm doing what you want, just like that one YouTube rewind that everyone really loved. Yeah, we're taking inspiration from the YouTube comments today, that'll end well. But this is just a part one, we couldn't get to every single one of your most wanted Digivolutions because there's a lot of them. So I've just cherry picked some that I think are appropriate or holiday themed. And on today's video, yes, we're creating your most wanted missing Digivolutions. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to Card's Holiday Hootenanny. And yes, I'm back home now.
Oh my god!
Goodbye, America. Not all of America's gone, I'm just not in America anymore. Anyway, and hey, it's Christmas Eve when this video is going out. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And what better a Christmas present could I possibly give you than toys? Yes, we're beginning by creating the oft-wanted evolutions for ToyAgumon. I want to thank Weirdomon who did all of these ToyAgumon evolutions, but I do also want to say that I might revisit specifically ToyAgumon evolutions a few times in upcoming videos. I've always been a little bit reticent to revisit the same concept, but I think there's so much potential in these that I wanted to do it maybe with a few different artists. So I had to start with Weirdomon and his interpretations of ToyAgumon evolutions. Weirdomon and I had two schools of thought with ToyAgumon's evolution line. Either keep the building block theme, which I might explore in future, or what we ended up settling on, representing different types of toys with each stage of its evolutions. This to me gave us more room for exploration and diversity, while still keeping true to ToyAgumon, but again in future we might try different toys or try doing a full building block evolution line. But anyway, first up is the ToyAgumon evolution, ToyGreymon. Based on a soft vinyl, I thought this was an inspired idea from Weirdomon. I don't have any kids, so I don't know if they're as popular as they were when I was a kid, but certainly when I was a kid, toy dinosaurs that were made of soft vinyl or rubber that had zero articulation were the bee's knees. They were peak toy. They were everywhere and we loved them. Crashing your toy dinos into each other was absolute peak childhood. As such, ToyGreymon carries on that tradition. A lump of a Digimon that seems totally immovable when observed by Digidestined. It is often used by gigantic Digimon as a bludgeoning weapon, but also when no humans are present, it is able to move at great speed, attacking with horns, an attack called Toy Antler, that can take out even some unexpected ultimate level Digimon. But then the second a human looks at it again, it drops to the floor unmoving. Anyway, that's this toy's story. But it must digivolve to the next toy, and that is Plush Greymon, based on, yep, a plush toy, which again is super popular with kids, but also specifically is incredibly common for Digimon toys, official and unofficial. There's even that famous Greymon plush, which was definitely in my mind when I think of potential ToyAgumon evolutions. I like to imagine that Plush Greymon is even significantly smaller than Metal Greymon, like Marine Angemon size, just cause it's funnier. A seemingly harmless plush of a virus Metal Greymon, like its pre-evolution, Plush Greymon tends to remain entirely motionless. However, if you touch it, pick it up, something oozes out of its stuffing. Something not good for you. What is that? Is that an asbestos aura? Oh no! And hey, that potentially hazardous toy sets up our next evolution nicely, as Plush Greymon gives way to Action Greymon, the mega of this line based on bootleg action figures. Okay, the Pokeball on the head probably wouldn't be there in an official Bandai product maybe, but Bandai aren't paying for this video, are they? You know who is paying for this video? Me! But also today's sponsor, Buyee. Come on now, you knew it was coming. Buyee is a proxy service getting you access to goods from Japan. Of course, they've got a swathe of Digimon stuff available, vital bracelets, action figures, tons of cool stuff. It's definitely too late to get yourself or a loved one something from Buyee in time for Christmas. However, if you get some cash tomorrow in your Christmas stocking, grandma's feeling generous and gave you a whole $10, you could put that money towards getting yourself something from Buyee. And that's made all the sweeter because when you sign up with my link in the description down below, Buyee will give you a 10% off coupon that you can use towards any purchase on their site. And like I say, with the swathe of Digimon stuff available on Buyee, all of it official, you can really get yourself a bargain. So thank you to Buyee for sponsoring this video, and let's talk more about this bootleg Greymon. So this Toy War Greymon embodies the bootleg world of toys. Stuff that's almost your favorite properties, but not quite. The sense of right alliance, or even this classic Digimon everybody remembers, Inflation Greymon? Never mind. This radical dude skates around the digital world, causing glitches and mayhem wherever it goes. It is said that War Greymon and other variants such as Brigadramon and Gaiumon view Action Greymon with incredible disdain, and think it brings a bad name to the War Greymon family. But it's such a fun guy, and easier to get hold of than other War Greymon variants, what's not to love? I mean, unless you're on the receiving end of its copycat force, in which it creates a giant ball made of copies of thousands of Digimon that it lobs at its enemies and crushes them to death. You know, because it's chill like that. Okay, so we've got 2 interim Digivolutions here. I want to thank everybody for blowing up the Cross Wars Digivolution lines video. I'm going to be totally honest with you, I'd kind of already planned to make this art before that video blew up, on the off chance that it did at least okay, but that video did really well, so thank you. Today we're Digivolving, we're creating megas for Jaeger-Darulumon and Atla-Ballistamon, and we begin with Jaeger-Darulumon, who all trade Digivolved to Royal Darulumon. To quote All Trade, Royal Darulumon is an honorable knight whose form is reminiscent of an oft-forgotten hero of the digital and human worlds. Wielding his double-headed drill spear that All Trade desperately wanted to call the Tengen Topper, which apparently means pierce the heavens, Royal Darulumon bears the insignia of his king upon his shield and serves as an unrivaled spearman to whoever earned his loyalty. The inspiration for this design was pulled from a ton of places. Primarily, All Trade took it from Alphamon, Mirage Gaogamon, and Gurren Lagann.
That's part 1. Gurren Lagann.
Because Jaeger-Darulemon's spear seemingly took inspiration from King Catan's. And according to All Trade, the fact that Darulumon has up to this point not become a giant armored drill-wielding, two-face having is a sin that had to be rectified. Row, fight the power. From hunter to royalty, the chief of the hunt commands armies of other Digimon, particularly Darulumon and Digmon. It charges forth into any battle or hunt it can get itself into to save the day. Be quick or it will finish you with its Tengen Tornado signature attack. And then we have got the evolution of Atla-Ballistamon, which I tasked Weirdomon with, digivolving it to Mega Ballistamon. Its name, Mega Ballistamon, is of course a reference to the fact it kind of looks like a Megazord, but also Mega Kabuterimon. Okay, admittedly it's a different level and that's a dubism, and because in the English dub, this ultimate level would be a Mega level. This design was inspired by existing Beetle Digimon, and specifically the tank mode of the MMPR Megazord, in homage of Digimon Cross Wars' Megazord style of Digivolution, despite Mega Ballistamon itself being a conventional Digivolution. The design feels akin to things like Tyrant Kabuterimon, Grandis Koagumon, Ancient Beetlemon, etc., while also feeling totally new. I really like how this one came together, and I like that we kind of switch it up a little bit. Instead of becoming more humanoid, I like us reverting to something a little bit more vehicle-based, while still keeping design elements and philosophy from Ballistamon and Atla-Ballistamon. You can almost consider this like a roaming DJ setup. Mega Ballistamon caps off the Ballistamon evolution line. A commander of Beetle Digimon, it can travel at great speed and cause a ruckus. Its signature move is the Beetle Bombardment, where it launches every projectile it has at once, like a fantastic light show. Alright, well it is Christmas Eve, so we're going to focus the second half of this video on specifically snowy, icy Digimon that I've seen most requested in my comments. And we begin by evolving Frigimon, and All Trade is on board once again to create a Bombimon. Again, to quote All Trade, I went pretty firmly for the prompt on this one, so I don't have much to say about it, but I do want to note I designed this as a potential transition from Frigimon into more evil Digimon, such as Creepymon, Shin Monzemon, or the Etamon line. Somehow, what with Yetis basically being giant snow gorillas. Also, I flipped the nose because I noticed the head was very skull-shaped. With elements of Ogamon, this Digimon could also very easily be a Hyogomon evolution as well as a Frigimon one, and as All Trade said, was made to be versatile in snow and non-snow Digimon lines. Yes, I thought a Frigimon Evo should be inspired by the Abominable Snowman, so throwing in elements of Abominable Snowman and Yeti, Bombimon lives on the high heels of the digital world's ice area. Keeping to itself, it is occasionally disturbed by outsiders, upon which it raises its hands above its head and beats them to death unless they can escape. Survivors refer to this attack as the Yeti Pummel. But All Trade did me a solid and created an evolution for this Digimon too, which was really cool of him. Digivolving a Bombimon to Yuki Onamon. This is based on the Yuki Onna, a yokai associated with snow and ice in Japanese culture. According to Wikipedia, Yuki Onna is a beautiful woman that came to visit a man and became his wife from the woman's own desire. This woman was reluctant to go into the bath, and when she was made to go in anyway, she disappeared, leaving only thin, fragmented floating icicles. Yuki Onna is also supposedly the inspiration for the Pokemon Frostlass. All Trade is a fan fan of savers and wanted to create a more feminine evolution that Frigimon could conceivably digivolve into. Of course, that means a ghostly, vengeful snow woman. All Trade envisioned this as being a sort of Splashmon situation, with Abomimon and Yukionomon being two sides of a coin, and it could definitely be that. However, I also see this being very much a mega level Digimon contender, an evolution for Abomimon rather than a kind of slide evolution. The two do share some elements: the shoulder mouths, the sun bear inspired chest pattern, and the ice horns. So to me, yes, they could be slide evolutions, but I think Yukionomon actually, despite All Trade not seeing it like this originally, would work great as an Abomimon evolution. Yukionomon is the zenith of Snow and Ice Digimon, and is said to be related to Sakuramon and Kuzuhamon, though her frosty temperament means she refuses to ever acknowledge her sisters. Yukionomon is not the combative type, unless cornered or confronted, in which case she will rip and tear at her assailant until they freeze to death from ice-cold slashing wounds of her frozen nail attack. And at the end here, we're looping back to Agumon variants.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
I've talked about it for years at this point, and yes, admittedly, Bluecomon did kind of give us something to fill in that gap. However, it is finally time that we give an evolution line to SnowAgumon, and Adriano Davino is back again to do just that. So first of all, SnowAgumon digivolves to Ice Greymon. This is exactly what I was looking for with a SnowAgumon evolution. Something that evolves SnowAgumon, obviously, but also deviates the variants from their originals. There are elements similar to Greymon, Virus Greymon, even Virus Greymon X, but Adriano also introduced brand new elements that set it apart. The frozen beard is appropriate for the holiday season, but make no mistake, this dinosaur is not jolly. Instead of presents, it dishes out a devastatingly cold breath weapon, the Glacial Blast, that freezes any in its path solid. But a life lived in the cold changes a Digimon further, and so Ice Greymon becomes Sub-Zero Greymon. Sub-Zero cooling of metals is a common practice and one with historical controversy. Originally claimed to produce better results, then refuted, and then again proposed as a way to make metallic and non-metallic components more efficient. Adriano's played a blinder here. It feels so much like a Metal Greymon, undeniably, but also takes what's familiar about specifically Metal Greymon and adds these frozen elements to make something brand new. Very much reminds me of how Metal Greymon X reincorporated familiar elements into something different, or indeed Brigadramon that functions as a War Greymon variant, but more on that in a bit. This Metal Greymon variant found little use for claws in the snowy environment it calls home, but did need to shovel snow while still being effective at fending for itself. So what we end up with is Sub-Zero Greymon. With a beard and tail of ice, it is said this Digimon's blood is like frozen slush. Somewhere between Metal Greymon and Skull Greymon, the fierce determination of Sub-Zero Greymon keeps it pushing snow out of its way as it moves ever forward. Don't get on the wrong side of its frozen launch attack. The cold never bothered this Digimon anyway, which is why it lets it all go to digivolve to Vike Greymon. Look at this dude! Adriano, you killed it on this one. Like with Sub-Zero Greymon, Vike Greymon is so obviously a War Greymon variant, and yet also feels like an entirely new Digimon. Putting this alongside other War Greymon variants or associated Digimon like Gaiumon, Brigadramon, and Victory Greymon, it fits in so well with their pantheon. The choice to make its fur clothing Garurumon hide is just so cool, literally, setting this Digimon apart from the Greymon variants that befriend Garurumon variants. And I really like the design choice to keep one big claw like the traditional War Greymon, albeit battle damaged and icy, but then on the other side showing the hand underneath, which War Greymon also has. Grasping an axe, which perhaps originated from similar data as the claws, but took on a new shape to help it battle in icy conditions. That War Greymon base with the Garurumon hide also kind of makes it feel like Masterdramon, an early concept for Omnimon, but this is almost the inverse to that situation, a merging of Greymon and Garurumon seemingly not done through shared bonds, but instead through combat and skinning. A savage of the frozen tundra, Vike Greymon has turned its back on friendship and hunted Garurumon for their pelts, assimilating their data to the point it bears a rotated crest of friendship on its loincloth. Vike Greymon is a true ancient Viking that cuts its foes in twain with its Terra Cleave attack. And that is it! All of our new Digivolutions that you most wanted in my comments down below. As I said in the intro, this is just a part one of many. We're going to do much more most wanted Digivolutions and maybe even revisit the same concepts to do different ideas. Hope you're all having a wonderful holidays. Happy Christmas to those who celebrate. Have a good day tomorrow. Thank you to my sovereigns, Mickey D343, Jamon, and ZDK14, as well as all my Digidestin, Tamers, Karn Club, everyone who supports this channel with their hard-earned money. Hope you're having a wonderful holidays. There's still more videos to come in Karn's Holiday Hootenanny though, so I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.